You know, you're probably not as lazy as you think you are, but there's one thing for certain. You probably don't manage your time very effectively. For a good majority of my life, I've been pretty ambitious. I've always had big dreams, but I always fell short in my execution. And a huge part of it was is that I just thought I was better than having a schedule. I hated the conformity of, going to school and having everything blocked out for you. I thought I was smarter than that. I thought I could achieve my dreams a different way. But that was just ego. And it may not be the same for you. You may just be friggin' lazy. I don't know. I was pretty lazy too. After making this mistake many times, I just came to realize that it just left a compounding effect of anxiety, and it didn't feel good at all. It's almost like thinking like, "Oh, I really want this thing, but, am I gonna do everything I can tomorrow to get it? Am I gonna have the right amount of motivation to do it? Is something gonna come up? Is somebody gonna call me?" That's just not the right way to go about it. Sometimes I just thought that as long as I was intense enough, that it would stick. Like, I would have, I don't know, maybe like once or twice a year, just like a week period of just intense motivation and nothing. It felt like nothing could stop me. It felt like it would never end. But, maturing is me realizing that that is stupid. Some days you're just going to feel like, what is the point? What am I doing? Why don't I just go get a normal job and settle down and have a nice white picket fence life? This shit is too hard. And I'm not unsympathetic to that. I do bash on people for not understanding what discipline is really about, or them thinking that they need to feel a certain way in order to achieve a certain thing. Your discipline should be predictable. Even on bad days, you should know what you're going to do regardless of how you feel. It's like brushing your teeth. You know, if you just resorted to only brushing your teeth when you felt like it, you'd probably forget it like 50% of the time. Motivation in of itself is not a foundation for discipline. It's just a nice bonus. That's just awesome. Like, you get to feel good about what you're doing when you're doing it, but it is more reliable to, and you'll see more growth, and you'll see that positive emotion that comes with doing discipline habits when you do it when you don't feel like it. And I think this is a huge mistake a lot of people make. They just only give it a week. And it was like, this feels like shit. I'm done. Screw this. I don't want a six pack. I'll just be fat. She's like, okay, bro. Like, you didn't even give it a chance. Some people might think that, my solution is stupid, but I just know that there are so many people out there that are either not willing to do this, or they just don't do it, or they've never even tried. But what worked for me was just spending a dedicated Sunday and mapping out what I was going to do every hour of every single day. That included waking up in the morning, brushing my teeth, making breakfast, getting my stuff ready, commuting to work. Like, I listed everything. I did not leave anything out. And then I figured out, okay, what do I actually have time for? And then If you want to make it even better, you can just like go and chat GPT and then say like, hey, this is how much time in the day I have. This is how long it takes me to get to work. I need to do this, and that. Like, could you make a draft of a schedule for me? And it will tell you like everything almost perfectly. Like it will almost make a guideline of a schedule that you can make for yourself. And then even better, you could say, hey, these free blocks that I have, I'd like to dedicate it to these goals. And it will give you like 30, 40 minutes a day towards this goal. It will, I said that I wanted to learn more about video production and graphic design and how to speak better. So I have dedicated days each evening of the week towards bettering those skills. This is all just to avoid like multitasking and just winging it. Because chances are, if you made it this far in the video already, you know that winging it doesn't really work. And some may think like, well, why does this matter? Why does making a schedule make all the difference? And it really does, man. It just depends on how dedicated you are towards your dreams and your goals. Like, do you actually like want the thing that you're ambitious about? Then, you know, do everything in your power to optimize your road there. Like maybe if you just half-ass it for a decade, you might land up where you want to be, but you could probably get there a lot faster if you just don't make any excuses and do everything you can feasibly think of to organize yourself to get there. And at the end of the day, like I think if most people did this for like 2 weeks, if they blocked out every single hour of their day and implemented things towards their goal within their schedule, they'd find it produces results pretty quickly. At least that's what I've noticed within myself. And honestly, like look up to anybody influential that you know. They do this. All of them schedule their day. This is just something so simple, but escapes so many people. On top of just producing more results, I think it makes you less anxious. It made me less anxious, made me more productive. It made me more focused. I didn't have to guess what I was going to do in the next hour. I just knew what I was going to do, just despite if I didn't feel like doing it or not. So I want to challenge you guys. I want you to dedicate a Sunday or honestly any day. Like most of you have too much free time on your hands. So just try and find some time to do this. But literally just pick 3 habits that you want to follow up on throughout 1 week. 3 habits. And I don't care what it is. If you're bad at doing laundry, that's fine. If you're trying to build the discipline to read more often, that's amazing. I don't care how complex or how simple it is. Just pick 3 and find some time. And it doesn't have to be every day. There just has to be 3 of them throughout the week, and dedicate an hour time slot for each of those 3 habits. It doesn't mean you have to do them for an hour. If it's something that you can complete in 30 minutes, great. Awesome. But just put it in your calendar. You just need a map. Otherwise, no wonder you're friggin' lost. Feel free to leave a comment to tell me what you struggle with in terms of consistency. I'd actually love to make a video about it, or just any struggle you have in general. I'm here to try and motivate you guys to live happier lives. And I'm not a shining of example of that by no means, but I think I've been doing pretty good for myself as of late. So remember, like, subscribe, stay strong, stay hungry. Peace.